Good morning and welcome to a Thursday morning show. It's an artsy Thursday. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. Well, the week is about, at the eve of the weekend. Today is what? Is this my time correct? Maybe you're asking me later to be sure. 28th of November. The month is already over. Like, this is December. We are in Christmas. This is the Christmas season. You don't enter, you don't reach. The IJGBs are around. In fact, some of them said booking. The other day I was talking about how hotels on the island in some particular area were all booked. People are around getting set for festivities. Well, here on Wake Up Nigeria, we'll also celebrate with you. We'll also ensure that you have a wonderful time in spite of the circumstances that you have all around. We're here to say that as long as there is life, there is hope. Welcome to the show. It's our Artsy Thursday, the most colorful show of the week when it comes to Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Mesikeno. Mary, of course, is looking pretty and colorful, but we'll get to her later on. Mary's checking inside her. Okay, no, we're not going to show that Mary's back, but you'll get to see her a little bit later on the show. We're going to have a wonderful time. So just chill, sit back, relax. We're going to have fun. You can hit us up. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms, on all social media handles here to interact, of course, and to engage with us. You can also watch us online. We are live at tvcentertainment.tv/live stream. You can also catch us on YouTube, TVC Entertainment, that's the handle. Now, if you're going to watch us while you're at home, GOTV will be channel 16, StarTimes 121. And if you are having to tune into, that's talking about the terrestrial band, ultra high frequency is 49. Now let's get straight into what we have this morning. We'll kick off with a book chat. We'll be speaking to Grateful Agbechoma, a management consultant and author dedicated to helping individuals and businesses thrive. His latest book is an inspirational guide on embracing life's waiting moments as opportunities for growth and transformation. And we have, we're looking at some wonderful tech innovations when it comes to the tech world. A flying drone or something that could act like a bird but could be spying on you or something. We'll be talking about that on the show this morning. Welcome, Mary. Great to have you, by the way. I love your dress.
Oh, thank you.
The only problem is you too shine. I love the color.
I'm shining bright like a diamond.
Oh, God. This was supposed to be
Do you
Titi's
want me to get started? Oh, yeah. Good.
This was supposed to be Titi's forte. Both of us used to chide her for it. But now,
that's why I'm confused.
you've moved to the dark side.
Let me do it right.
You've moved to the dark side, Mary.
Oh, yes. So, Mike, when I was speaking...
You're off that mic. Fine, come out here now. So I was talking about that. Did you feel the wisp, a little bit of the cold air? Have you started feeling a little bit of it?
Yes.
It's for me.
Yeah. But it's outside. It's not inside. Inside is hot air. Hey.
Man, so there are some days when one bath might be okay. These days, man.
It's
if you
like
don't take, like you have a bath in the morning, you go out and you come back and you have one, and then you have one again, and the night before you sleep. If you want to have a nice sleep and all of that, it's humid in some ways, but there's that wisp early in the mornings that, but like I said, it's not inside, but it's humid in some ways. But I know, of course, due to the effects of global warming, as it were, a lot of things have evolved, or the weather has changed quite a lot. In fact, this time around, we start having harmattan even in the next year, rather than by this time. I'm growing up by this time, we would have started feeling it, but things are shifting, things are changing, just as it is around the world.
That's why most developing countries were not so happy about COP29 last week, the whole climate change summit and the results. They were expecting about 1.2 or 1.3 trillion in grants because, hey, according to statistics, it's the developed countries that really affected the climate change. So they're like,
emissions,
you know what?
And all of that.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a grant to help. And they got only 300 billion. They were not happy about it.
They use the grants well. Most
That's
of the time,
another thing. Well, some countries do. Some countries
for a lot of countries. One thing I want to say is how even some big countries or some leaders don't even believe in the effects of climate change. It's just the way I see some people who are educated around here who tell you that, do you know that there's still an argument about the Earth's structure, about the spherical nature of the Earth, in a way that people tell you that, these people that go to the moon, don't they just fly up somewhere and just take a picture and come and tell you? You hear some very funny things and all of that. And I'm like, if you only could believe what you stand and what you see, how far would you go? How much of the air can you see? How are you sure it's air you're breathing? There's a lot that you have to, how do I put it now? You have to let it go for people who are in that field or who are more, it's almost like when COVID came and everybody became a medical expert, everybody did their own research and all of that. Do you even understand how to differentiate an artery from a nerve in your body?
In your body.
But no, you that are a plumber in
at least you can tell the difference between a piper and a plumber.
Yeah, Kokomaiko, you became a medical expert and all of that. People, the older you grow, the more you find out, you streamline, you specificity in areas. You let it be for people who can do it, you know, who know things about it. Not arguing because you went up on Google or maybe on AI to pick up one or two things, and then you start arguing. So, for me, climate change, we are seeing the effects. The world is getting warmer than it was at some other times. And then these emissions are actually destroying CFCs, as it were. And yes, when you go to cities, the other time, you remember the period when black soot was trending in Port Harcourt, River State?
Yes.
The effects of flaring, gas flaring on our environment. We are an oil-producing company. We flare gas, you know, and the effects.
I think
on our environment.
I think it was some time back, about 2-3 months ago, tremors were felt somewhere in northern Nigeria.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Jos and some other areas, but yes, there are tremors.
Things we've been taking for granted. Something might happen that might actually give us a natural disaster we do not want.
Which we cannot
because of this same climate change. So for those who do not believe in it, for people in charge of such
who don't believe exactly because
who are not doing anything about it and seeing it as free cash. When the results come later, I really hope it will not cause us a lot of regrets.
And the thing about nature is that you have to preempt.
Yes, so
you have at least recently I've been reading some materials on being proactive, on being ahead of a trend, on being on the bleeding edge of anything. That means that look, before it comes to the eyes of normal people, you have already seen ahead. And that's how leaders should think.
Yes, it's called thinking ahead. You're planning ahead.
And then you preempt that challenge and then you find a way to break it down. But
so that by the time it comes, it's not a surprise. Or you can even avoid it completely eventually. So,
all right.
Well, at this point, we've got to check out the weather. Funny we were talking about climate change. Hopefully it's good today. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Former Governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, has pleaded not guilty to the charges of money laundering against him by the EFCC. An FCT High Court sitting in Maitama remanded the former governor in the custody of the EFCC till December 10. Celestina Area reports.
Arraignment security at the FCT High Court was beefed up. The case is before Justice Marian Aneni, and court was full to its capacity with lawyers, journalists, operatives of the EFCC, and supporters of the former governor. The former governor was arraigned alongside two others. They are Umar Oricha and Abdulsalami Hudu. They pleaded not guilty to the 16-count charge of money laundering. After they took their plea, the EFCC immediately moved for trial to commence and is ready to call its first witness. Counsel to Mr. Bello Joseph Daodu argued that they were served with a charge at 11 p.m. on 26 November and he will need time to prepare his client. A bail application dated 22nd November, predicated on 6 grounds, has been filed. Mr. Bello submitted through his counsel that his presence in court is an obedience to the summons issued on him. It is stated law in the country that the defendant is innocent until proven guilty. It is within his rights to enjoy his liberty while preparing for trial. The prosecution objection is based on the fact that he is facing charges at the Federal High Court and has refused to appear to take his plea. Also, that the court should not use issues from another court to determine issues before the FCT High Court. Objecting to the submissions of Mr. Bello, counsel to the EFCC Kemi Pinero held that his preliminary objection is anchored on 3 grounds. First, the competence of the bail application, and the factual content of the bail application, and lastly, the application of judicial principles and guidance to the bail application. The FCT High Court can only assume jurisdiction upon the arraignment of the defendants. The bail application was filed on 22nd November and the defendant's arraignment took place on 27th November. It is only after arraignment that the bail application can arise and be heard. The counsel to the second and third defendants also moved the application for bail, which was objected by the EFCC, irrespective of them enjoying administrative bail earlier granted them by the Commission. Justice Aneni, in a short ruling, reminded them in the custody of the EFCC and adjourned to 10th December for ruling on their bail applications. The former governor of Kogi said Yahaya Bello is also expected to be arraigned before Justice Emeka Wete of the Federal High Court in Abuja on a 19-count charge of money laundering to the tune of 80 billion naira. The court had adjourned to January for ruling on whether to try Mr. Bello in absentia and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf due to his absence from court. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Outside Nigeria, thousands of Lebanese civilians are returning to their destroyed homes after a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. The U.S. brokered ceasefire will end 13 months of fighting in the two regions. French President after the announcement of the deal, committing both nations to ensure the agreement is fully implemented and enforced. It's been 2 months since Israeli troops began a land invasion of Lebanon in response to almost a year of rocket attacks from Hezbollah. The ceasefire in Lebanon will not directly affect Israel's war in Gaza. Thanks. So,
Yeah, man. Welcome.
My love.
This one, no.
It's not me that wrote it, it's the fun fact.
Go back and play. Yeah, it's Thursday morning, yeah, guys.
Yes,
20th
indeed.
of November. I'm still coming to terms with that 2024 is about
Yes,
over.
my birthday was exactly 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The one that you didn't want anybody to.
Nobody ever
That's
knows
perfect.
until after my
That's
birthday
perfect.
every year.
You need to
Yeah.
No,
understand
the fact that
people-
she would bring it up is.
Oh,
Yes,
of
like,
course.
because it
You
don't
bring-
pass.
You bring exactly.
Yes, it don't pass.
I think it was one celeb who had mentioned who had already was in the UK and talking about I want to relocate and everybody's like you cannot. Best already did there. I don't know. People talk about things. Yeah.
That sounds like something I can do.
So is there people have maybe passed a level? I don't know why, if it's a society or what, people would allow people will bring pregnancy shoots after the baby's 2 months
Baby's
old.
like 3 months old.
Exactly.
But I also do it actually when
Okay.
I'm at events.
Okay.
So most of my posts are late posts.
But late post for MM is 7 o'clock that day.
No!
Of the event.
You have no
Or maybe
idea.
the next day.
No, my late post can even be a week after. I don't post a day short on the day of the event. No, I'm
Funny
not gonna
enough,
post.
I want to post now.
After?
That event I want to post today, 2 months ago. I was once
not
this
cool.
thing, Lola. But hey, whichever way, whatever rocks
Whatever
your boat.
we are,
So
true.
people will announce before the event or before the happening. It depends on you. I just feel like people tend to want to be careful.
Yeah. And besides being careful, you never know what people think of you. You never know what people are going through. You never know what's on their minds. And this brings to forward what we wanted to talk about today. So there was this post on social media in which a guy posted how heartbroken he was because of a note he received from his younger brother. Now, apparently, he's the oldest. And so the younger brother was like, he's not proud of him. He doesn't do much for the family. He doesn't call home. He's not being as responsible as they would have expected, considering how much their dad has poured into him. That not only is he not being supportive, like even helping out, he's still collecting from his dad as well. So his brother really went at him about it. And this brings to fore the fact that people are going through a lot. Whenever I hear this thing of, should you be in your father's house at 35, I always thought it was ridiculous. Like, hello, you can be in your father's house at 45 if things are so bad for you. The most important thing is for you to be making efforts. That's my thought. However, seeing this post, I now understand why many people go on and on about how they would rather leave their fathers or even they have to go through hell out there. And I find it rather pitiful, really. I find it pitiful.
Someone said, I saw someone put up a post or put up something in a group and the person made mention of, if you do this, that means that you never sabi or something. They say the man where they earn money or where they work, they see money, go to say every other person, they lazy.
Yes.
You never know. You never know what people have to go through. There are people who would do, who have done 5 times what you have put in. But due to maybe circumstances, due to location, or due to many things, they don't have half what you have.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that those people are not putting effort. They might even be putting in more. For you, it might be connections. It might be a family name. it might just be providence. It might just be you finding yourself some way. If some people told you about their breaks, people can tend to, when you listen to, you go for most of these, I don't want to use motivational, not motivational speakers, or maybe management or high-level C-class suite executive meetings. C-suite executive meetings. People talking about how, success is measurable. It is. It is achievable. It is if you put some things in place. But they always tend to forget that there are some times when it might just be providence, just a little bit of you or just somewhere at the right time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people got there just by meeting somebody and the person just like them. And the nonsense you said, at that time it might not have made sense. The person just said, I just like you. Let me invest in your business.
Yes.
Not because you had one very nice business plan that would wow any investor or something. No. So I am just trying to say that, look, man, this world, nobody is see. There are no absolutes. Whenever I see somebody who is insisting on absolutes, I see somebody who still has a lot to learn.
I'm glad that we are having this conversation because a few days ago, I was sort of in a very emotional state because I felt so much. You know when it gets to a point where you feel so much. My brother's getting married next month.
Okay.
So there's no financial pressure.
Okay.
But you just feel. I just felt
overwhelmed.
Sort of overwhelmed, right? And it made me so sad.
Yeah.
I actually cried because I'm like, I would actually like someone to ask me, how are you doing?
MM cried.
Did you feel better? Because I don't cry, and I've spoken to some people, and they said that
cried.
when you cry, it helps you. It relieves.
I did. It was also a way to, I was also communicating with God, right? While going through what I was going through, because I'm like, I want someone to actually to genuinely just give me a hug and just tell me, like, I'm here for you.
Me. Come and sit down.
The wedding has not happened yet.
What is that?
Never too late.
Come and sit down. It's late.
You get, because
needed it that time.
the whole experience would have been completely different if, my parents were here.
We're here, yes.
Do you understand? So, but other than that, the
all coming on
other
you.
than that, other responsibilities as well, business, so many family, exactly.
Work.
And then the kids were ill, both of them were ill at the same time. I'm like, my God. So now, coming to this post, it sort of resonated with me because I'm like, we don't know what our siblings are going through. Yeah. And most of the time, we don't ask. We don't ask. We don't genuinely ask. We just assume that because they have escaped, I've used the word, from home, you feel that, they're okay where they are. But they're going through their own struggles. Everyone is going through their own different struggles. And I think what we can do to uphold those family values is just being there for one another and just checking up. And if you feel that you are in the position to be there for your father, because in this case, he was saying that his father was doing so much, to take care of the other siblings, and he was supposed to, help out, but he wasn't helping out. If you the other sibling that is complaining, if you feel that you're in a position to, in the little way that you can.
That one is one of those that they are helping because he's still young. But it's just that he wrote that.
Because he's pained, because he's feeling entitled to his brother's responsibility, or that because you are the firstborn now, you should cater to me. Who is catering for your firstborn? Is somebody asking him that? Who's taking care of him?
I just, as much as possible in times, as I know it's hard, one thing that makes a lot of people scared, especially for guys, not like sometimes people don't want to ask how you're doing, but a lot of people use that opportunity to bill you. And so you find out, to bill you. So guys have this bro code that, so if for instance now I see Mary and MM and I'm like, Mary, how are you? Mary says, I'm not fine. It will be well, eh?
You don't jump.
Because Mary can come now, my stomach is I need parfait. And now, original parfait now. One small cup.
3, 4,
3. There's one particular place that one money bought there for me, parfait on 8K, 7. It's small.
What's in the cup?
When the parfait, I don't know this cup of life. You will drink it and test no more.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that people tend to, in as much as we ask that question, how are you? People tend to want to use it as an opportunity to bill you. And so people are very wary. So they tell you as a guy, Ask a lady, how are you? And she says, I'm not fine.
See, there's also something I want people to understand. When a particular person seems to have and isn't giving as much as you want, there's also that possibility that the person is making investments. Because if you spend everything now,
how would you do?
How would you continue to be able to take care of them?
Hey, we'll pick
so
it
we
up.
can look at this thing from different angles.
We'll pick it up.
Check on your sibling
Check on your
today.
sibling, patience with them.
Check
Oh,
on your
everybody, they
sibling
go through
today.
stuff. Oh.
Right.
Reduce the billing. All right, we'll be back after this time out.
My friend reduce the billing. Now let's check out the newspaper headlines this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. I'm not doing this alone. I've got right here.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see what the newspaper headlines are.
Right.
The Punch newspaper is what we'll begin with this morning, and it says Port Harcourt refinery marketers threaten boycotts as NNPCL juggles a petrol price. Now, the writer here is dealers insist PMS must be cheaper than Dangote's. NNPCL delays price portal opening, restricts products. Down here, we see EFCC opposes Bellows bail application. Court remands ex-governor. Reps to probe 8.4 trillion naira allegedly withheld by NNPCL. Tragedy averted as tanker spills diesel in Lagos. Osun Airport. APC projects panel clash over relocation. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, up here we have tax panel to defend a bill at Senate debates today. Tinubu to name new envoys after France, South Africa visits. A 30-year experience prepared me for COAS job. That's coming from Oluyede. And we have finished court sets May 2025 date for Simon Ekpa's trial. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Punch newspaper this morning. I wonder which one caught your eye?
So this marketers threatened boycott as NNPCL juggles petrol price. The hula baloo between the NNPC, Dangote, and the marketers has been ludicrous, I would say, at this point. Now, last week there were reports of, earlier in the week there were reports of the Port Harcourt refinery in operations already, and we saw pictures of marketers, truckers already, taking fuel. So what exactly is going on? There are also speculations that a few petrol stations have reduced their price by 15 naira. This is even confirmed because I remember 2 days ago, my driver was saying to me that one of the filling stations that used to sell at 1,080 naira now sells as 1,065 naira. So, we don't know what's going to happen in the next, in the next coming days or in the next few days. But fingers crossed, if we have the refineries now coming up, and which of course is going to aid the ease of the fuel and all of its the modalities with it, then can the federal government just welcome it so that we can rest? All this person is frustrating this person, that person is frustrating this person. To be honest, we don't care anymore. We just want ease of access to fuel. Exactly, and which of course, because if the fuel prices drop, it affects everything. It affects survival. It affects livelihood. It affects the inflation as well. So, I mean, can we just, resolve on it?
Really, I cannot blame the marketers for wanting it to be cheaper. They believe, okay, since it's government, it ought to cost less. But then at the same time, we should remember that the Port Harcourt refinery has just been, I don't know whether to use the word refurbished or rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated.
So as it is, a lot of expenses have also gone into it, which have to be paid back because we do not know the source of those funds. Yeah, well. So there are several ways to look at it, really. But at the end of the day, the importance is for breaking even.
Right.
Go ahead,
I know,
please.
right? So we'll start off with the Guardian. We'll continue with the Guardian newspaper. Making the headlines here, we have 555,000 shareholders forfeit 215 billion naira dividends over cost inflation. And here we have a picture story of unclaimed dividend retrieval process. Anyway, to get more of that story, just go to the Guardian newspaper. Moving on, power generation stagnates amid promises amid of 128 towers at 8.8 billion naira. Transport-related accidents cost most children's death. Wow. Lagos declares. And ABU decries 310 million naira per session electricity bill. Now, that is a conversation for another day. I'll continue. Court remands Bello, two others over alleged 110 billion naira fraud. You can find more stories on the cover of the Guardian newspaper, and we'll just wrap it up on the front page front page review for now.
Yes. That's about it on the newspaper headlines this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. So stay with us.
Now we have a management consultant and author dedicated to helping individuals and businesses thrive. He is here for book chat this morning, and the book is Waiting and Winning, an inspirational guide on embracing life's waiting moments as opportunities for growth and transformation. Grateful Agbechoma in the house. It is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Waiting and Winning. This is quite an interesting title. How would you, what category would we put this book? Is it a self-help book? Is it motivational? Is it religious? How would you categorize this book?
Okay, I'll say this book is an inspirational one.
Okay.
Yeah, because it inspires people to be their best.
Be the best.
Yes, so currently, for everyone, they are at a place in their life and they're hoping to be somewhere. So like I tell people, we all are on a journey. So your destination is different from mine. And so I shouldn't be looking at what you're doing. I should be focused on myself.
On yourself.
Yes, I should work hard at beating my past records and look forward to achieving those things I want to do. So this book basically tells you to stay focused, look at your journey, prepare, build yourself, and be prepared to get to where you're going to.
Well, you have about 15 chapters here, or 15 segments, as it were.
Yes.
You know, it starts off with there's time for everything, get busy, avoid distractions, keep praying. Let's take that, the first four. There's time for everything, and to get busy and all about. What message are you trying to pass there?
All right, so like I said, everyone is on a journey. And like we all know, there's a starting time for everything. There's the end. Like we have a full year starting in January and ending in December. So for everyone, there's a time for something to happen for you. Now, if I'm on the queue, I'm trying to buy fuel, and I'm number 4 on the line, I know that my time will, I'll get there. I'll get to the pump where the guy will sell the fuel to me. So I shouldn't be worried about what the first person is doing or hoping that I wish it was me. Because the person got there before me, so your time will come.
When you say get busy, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so in your waiting periods, what do? Do you just sit down and wait?
And wait.
Yes, wait passively. Something should be done. So I encourage people to look at their waiting periods as periods of preparation, not wasted periods. Yes.
All right, wonderful. We move on to always give thanks. Now people are in a situation, even if you're in a situation where there's nothing to give thanks for, maybe, you don't see anything to give thanks for. Why? What role does giving thanks achieve, or what role does it play in helping me achieve my goal?
Okay, that chapter, Giving Thanks, basically talks about mindset, having a mindset of gratitude. Now, okay, my name is Grateful, and most times it's a reminder. It reminds me to always stay grateful, be thankful for where I am. Now, there's this saying that half bread is better than none. So for everywhere you find yourself, just imagine that someone else is hoping to be there. Yeah, so wherever you are, give thanks and hope for the best.
But that giving thanks mindset, how does it help you get to your destination?
Yeah, so I like to reference a story in the Holy Book where somebody got healed and they came back to give thanks. Yeah, so they had a season where the person had issues, but somehow they got help. And when they got help, they remembered that maybe I shouldn't be here, but I got help. What should I do? Give thanks. Yeah, so giving thanks, it's a mindset of growth. I give thanks for where I am. I know somehow, if I get busy, somehow, if I meet the right people, somehow, if I read, if I educate myself, I definitely will get there.
All right, be a giver. That's another part I want to talk about. How does giving help me achieve my goals?
Yes, so giving, most times people see giving as money, that I need to give someone money, but there are loads and loads of things you can give. You can give your time, you can give your knowledge, you're well informed, you know a lot of things. You want to help maybe younger people, you want to help someone that needs to achieve something. You have business ideas and you just want to give, you just want to help people. In that way, you're also preparing yourself for the bigger you. So most times I see this picture in my head of me achieving something. So I see my future self somewhere up there, and I see that future self beckoning on me to come, you can get here. Or I'm hoping to buy a big car, and I'm seeing that car, the doors are open, and the car is telling me, you can get me. So I have that mindset most times that I can always get there. So if I give to the little people, I mean, to the people around me, whether it's my knowledge, whether it's my time, I know that somehow I'll get there.
All right, this has gems, quite the book, I must say. And like you mentioned, of course, it wraps up. We take a step out, be sensitive, and all of that. Yeah. So yeah, waiting and winning. This is just to wrap up. What is the takeaway from all of this? When somebody, just in a few words, what is the takeaway would people have when they get through this book?
Okay, this book is, for me, a message of hope to let people out there know that your waiting period, those seasons where you wait for something, maybe it's a child you're waiting for, maybe it's a job you're waiting for, that something good is coming to you.
All right, thank you, Grateful Abechoma. Winning, waiting and winning, that's the book. All right, we'll take a time and I'll stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Thank you.
All right, it's time for us to talk arts display this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. And for that, our guest is Steve Ekpenisi. He is a sculptor from Delta State whose mastery of metal work is breathtaking. I'm talking about intricate details to grand sculptures, all inspired by Nigeria's rich cultural heritage. Steve transforms metal into living arts. That's the best way I can put it. Now, his journey began at, wait for it, age 5. And today he is a respected name in contemporary sculpture. Thank you so much for being in the studio with us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Very well. Wow. So I know metal work is very delicate, and being able to be a master at it. I see you started at 5. What was the drive? Was it someone close to you who used to deal with metals? What was it?
Myself being an artist is something that is inherent. It was just a gift, which I followed and never knew where it was going to
lead you.
Yeah, but you know, as the journey unfolds, I begin to now find a path. You know, so I didn't start creating metal sculpture from the beginning. It started from drawing, which is the beginning of art, which is the foundation.
Yes.
You know, every professional artist still and will always draw. Yeah, till their lifetime. You know, so it's the foundation. Once you gain mastery in your drawings, it gives you that urge to create sculptures and paintings and all that.
Now, I know you artists tend to reach a particular stage of your life or your career when you decide, this is what I'd rather focus on. When was that time for you? Was it while you were at school or after graduation?
It was in school, yeah, because you have to major in a particular area when you get to a certain level in school. That's in polytechnics. When you get to your HND, you must choose the area of your specialty, you know, which I opted for sculpture.
Ah,
yeah.
So let's talk about this one. As soon as I saw it, my first thought was,
you were scared.
Especially looking at the weapon, I'm like, okay. And then it looks really, would I say angry? And then I don't know, the details, especially the what he's wearing.
Okay.
What is this about?
Okay, this is the story is a true life story
Oh, okay.
of a Benin prince,
Okay.
Arwan.
Okay.
Though his name is Prince Idubo.
Udubo.
But he was supposed to be king, but circumstances that surround his birth
Okay.
deprived him of that.
Oh.
You know, at that point, I think the father was Oba Ozolwa,
Okay.
who was on the throne then, and the two of his wives were pregnant at the same time. And Aaron's mother gave birth to Aaron in the morning, but it will be inappropriate to announce to the king that they have a mute child, a mute baby. So he did not cry. And the other woman, which is Quinidia, Quinidia had the baby later in the day, and immediately they announced to the king that a baby is born into the family, and that was how he was announced the heir to the throne immediately. You know, so it's on the net. It's a story that you can read through on the net.
Check it out.
Yes.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So what was he doing here? Was fighting for the throne, or
No, it's just a pose. It's just a pose that commands a kind of respect, and he was a very huge guy. You know, I actually have the larger size of it
Wow.
in my studio, which is about 12 feet tall.
12 feet?
Yes, and he was that size.
Huh?
Yes.
Wow.
I used to ask people, if you believe that there was Goliath,
Then
spirit
it
of
must have been him.
yes, there were people in Africa who had the same kind of size as Goliath.
12 feet.
Yes.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
But, you know, this makes me really interested in your exhibitions, like your artwork, where you put them. Do you usually have regular exhibitions, or do you run exclusive ones every now and then?
Yes, in fact, yes, I operate from Universal Studios of Art in National Theatre.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Currently, we'll be having an exhibition, which is will be open on the 1st of December.
Okay.
Thought Pyramid. It's curated by Thought Pyramid.
Okay.
At 90 Norma Williams.
Okay.
Universal Studios has actually been in existence for the past 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, there you have a lot of. Is a studio where you have many studios where artists came together, artists of like minds. You know, people, somebody like Master Abiodun Olaku, Bomi Babatunde, Odogu Fidelis. These were the founding fathers of Universal Studios, and you know, it's a place where we train students. We train students from art schools all over Nigeria, even abroad as well.
Wow.
You know, so we're having we're having an exhibition called Legacy, and this is the 4th edition.
Wow.
Yeah.
So on Sunday?
On Sunday is the opening.
Oh, nice, nice. I would love to see many more artworks. We had been showing some of your artworks on TV. Yeah. There's one I saw of I think it was a male character bent like this.
Yeah.
What is that one called?
Okay, it's titled When He Finally Arrives.
When He Finally Arrives. Okay, arrives.
Yes, you know, there's a certain joy you get when your expectations are met. And sometimes, especially when these expectations were like impossible for it to happen, at that point which you got the news, if they were to picture your emotion or the excitement in you,
that's probably how you
that
feel.
Probably, yes.
Wow, that's it on the screen right now. The joy.
The joy.
Uninhibited joy. Wow. Okay, so there's another one. This one, it looks like you like tall sculpture.
Yes.
How tall is this?
This is 9 feet tall.
9 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
This I created for. It was a commission piece I created for Lakwe Golf and Lake Estates.
Okay.
Yes. I think it was in 2019 I created this, and the material I used is stainless steel and copper.
Wow. So it's going to be really long-lasting.
Yes, it's still standing till date.
Wow. Okay, so this one is the one I just really like, about joy, expressing joy. What is this one about?
Okay, this one is Behind the Veil.
Behind the Veil. Okay,
Yes,
what's the story
yeah.
behind it?
You know, like art is, for me, is a tool that I use to tell my story or give the audience what I feel about a situation.
Okay.
There are a lot of situations in Nigeria where people do a lot of things, and you'll be imagining who are the people sponsoring this thing, who's behind these things, you know. So, but they don't reveal them. It's like they are veiled. You understand?
So that's the idea of Behind the Veil.
Yes.
Wow, wow. I love the stories behind your artworks. I love how deep they are. It's easy to tell that you're a very deep individual. And I also love the fact that you bring art pieces to life in this amazing manner. This alone can frighten anybody. And I love the detailing on it. It's beautiful.
You know, for me, people say less is more.
Yeah.
You know, for me, no. Because art for me is a journey, an endless journey. You know, if you look at the pieces I created some years ago and the pieces I create now, I pay more attention to details now. So for me, I keep developing myself as an artist to be a better person and to also better my skill. You know, I invest on daily basis on my skill.
That's amazing. That's very impressive. I'm anticipating your exhibition at the Universal Studios this Sunday. Looking forward to it. I can imagine just how many beautiful artworks there will be to see. Thank you so much for your time, Steve.
You're welcome.
It's been quite an interesting
Thank
conversation.
you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. At this point, we've reached the top of the hour on Wake Up Nigeria. We still have 45 minutes on the other side.
It's the second half of the Thursday episode, actually Thursday of Wake Up Nigeria. We've had a wonderful first half. We've had a book chat. We've also had an art display. We've taken a look at the highlights in the papers and, of course, what's up and about. So that has been quite a packed one. We have even more for you in the second hour. It promises to be even more. Now, Thursdays are, you know, that just calm, and it is calm today, just before the relaxation period, which is the weekend. So we are here to ensure that we step you into that weekend in a cool and wonderful way. My name is Mike Mesikeno. Welcome to the show. If you are just joining us, well, you've missed 1 hour. We still have 45 minutes to ensure that it is a great show for you. You can catch the show. It's GOTV, channel 16. It will also be on StarTimes, channel 121. And, of course, the terrestrial band will be the ultra-high frequency, 49. Also online, tvcentertainment.tv/live stream. And also on YouTube at TVC Entertainment. The app is also available on the Apple iOS store and, of course, the Google Play Store, where you can watch us anywhere live around the world. All you need is internet connection. We'll get into the second half, and of course, it's birthday shout-outs. We'll be celebrating you. A number of people would have seen it in many posts online and also in some papers. It's our new studio. I mean, after the sad events, this is exactly 4 years after the sad events of October 2020. And of course. 2020, of course, the aftermath of the NSAS protest, which also, you know, affected TVC and our former studios, of course, was burnt down. Well, 4 years after, we now have a new studio, and we launched it yesterday. So maybe check a number of social media handles. You would see the pictures out there. Quite very soon, we'll be broadcasting from there. So yeah, this is. Congratulations to us and everyone involved and everyone who made this possible, and cheers to new beginnings, as it were. New beginnings.
It's been in the works since 2021, and so now it's being completed, and everyone is looking forward to moving.
I think it was the British fast.
No, nah, guys. But we are looking forward to.
Is it palm oil or granite oil?
I don't know them. I just work with them. I say it, but can you believe it?
I guess that's just the way to describe, you know, how she feels.
How she feels, yeah?
About the new place. But hey, we're proud of how far we've come and where we're going, because this is just the beginning of new and great things that's going to happen. That studio is of international standard. I mean, right now, we're coming, guys. We're coming.
And
Where
then,
were-
you
where
know,
were you
many
before?
people don't realize, many people don't realize that, yes, there's the TVC umbrella,
Yeah.
but we are actually two different arms, okay? So we have TVC News, and then there's TVC Entertainment. It is true that you see newscasters from TVC News having, you know, news programs on the show, reading the news and all, but that's just about it. We are an entertainment channel, so we're hoping that with this relaunch, you would be able to at least distinguish the two.
Yeah.
So what we do at TVC Entertainment is actually very different from what is done at TVC News. Just that, of course, the news angle, we of course have to share the news on the entertainment
But of
channel.
course, we're a
That's where TVC
family.
News. But of course, we're a
We're
family.
one family.
Yeah. However,
family
we are
ensuring
two different
that, yeah,
personalities,
personalities,
you know, or entities in the family.
Do off your mic.
What?
Yeah, but yeah. So that's it. So I just, but before that, I just wanted to ask if you have. I know has. Have you bought? Because many of people have already. They're done for
Are
the
they
year when it
selling
comes
shares?
to packing,
Oh, okay.
getting stuff ready, buying stuff for the end of the year and for Christmas and all of that. Have you done that?
So usually by the end of November,
You've done all of
I've
that.
done that. But usually it's not applicable this year.
It's not applicable this year.
All I can say is I am in God's hands. That's
You
all
put
I
your
can
hands
say.
in his
In fact,
hands.
you don't understand. For my birthday, at some point, there was something I put on my status, but it was just for my WhatsApp contacts. I was like, at this point, it's looking like gifts of 50 kg bag of rice, 25 liters of oil are
mean
better
so
as
much.
birthday gifts than you even
Just
say
take
you
the
want to
wheel.
give someone.
That we
Then
just
you-
take the
You know,
wheel.
but then one other thing is that was also trending news yesterday, of course, was Port Harcourt refinery beginning operations and Kaduna to begin soon. But Port Harcourt refinery is said to be selling their fuel at 75 naira more than Dangote. I'm wondering, shouldn't competition give us lower
Something,
prices?
exactly.
Shouldn't competition be the reason?
Yeah, reason why
If we
people
have
should
two
patronize
now,
it.
and then the third one is coming up, but the price is going up. Look, make it.
Makes sense.
So we actually talked about
Yeah,
during
we
the newspaper
did.
headlines,
We did.
and I try to look at it from two angles. On the one hand, it's expected that since this is a Nigerian thing, federal government thing, it should be cheaper. Because, of course, people expect that anything that has the
federal
government should be
exactly.
at least, if not subsidized, but at least more reasonably priced.
Yeah.
However, on the other hand, and this must be mentioned, a lot has gone into refurbishing or rehabilitating the refinery. And I'm sure it didn't come cheap, which is one of the reasons that affected or rather influenced the prices from Dangote
shouldn't.
refinery.
Why should
So-
it not? You are talking about how much has been saved from subsidy in 6 months. Do you understand?
So is that
Then
money not
yes,
enough to
You give me
use
the
it?
product that, yes, it's more than enough.
Yeah.
The monies that have been spent over decades since this thing all started, that's not an
That's the
excuse.
problem.
Then
So
we don't-
it's
it
just
is
like
unacceptable.
this
That's why it's
Steelworks. I've
unacceptable.
forgotten the name.
That
Is very popular Steelworks. And what makes it popular is every dispensation usually allocates money to it.
Okay, but
we don't see anything come out of it. It has a
about the
Yoruba name. I
trillions
don't
that
know
have
why
been
it's
saved.
not coming to me
That have
right
been
now.
saved. Ajakuta. That's what I'm talking about.
Ajakuta
yes,
still.
Ajakuta still.
Yeah, but now
Like-
they've had there's
There's-
been
yeah,
reports of it
there's
being
DSC.
rehabilitated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like about 2-3 years ago, it
The product
started
is sourced
minimal
locally.
operations.
You are now
Eh?
refining
It was
in
shut down,
here.
no?
Again.
Yes.
You are now, you are, yes,
I
of
missed
course.
that
shut down
That
again.
Now today.
This
Hey.
one got
Let's
safe
get into all
last
the-
year.
all the
I
worry
drove
boys.
past it. No, they not tell me. Me, I saw it like this, abandoned. No single breath
Wow.
was in that space. But hey, I guess we've got it carried away with this
No,
conversation.
I'm not carried away. That
but-
is what it is. But here,
It's
we'll
what it
continue
is.
later.
It's what it is.
All right.
But I mean, it would be nice to buy fuel like 700 or 500 and then 300, and it keeps going down. Well, you know what? Let's not dampen the mood because we have to celebrate your loved ones.
And we're back. Thanks for staying with us. For our second book chat this morning, we have Damilola. She's a passionate advocate for youth empowerment and the executive director of the Marvel Inspire Africa initiative. Through her nonprofit, she's transformed the lives of over 3,000 African youths, focusing on education and community development. And this morning, her book, Thrive, Teens and Young Adults on a Journey of Purpose. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Oh, well done. You've inspired, you've trained and empowered over 3,000 youths.
Yes, over 3,000 in the last 4 years.
In the last 4 years.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Talk to us. How did this journey begin? I mean, because that's what your book is about, anyways.
Yes. So it's passion, and then the passion started from having to navigate life all by myself with very minimal support, with no much mentorship and guide, and seeing that life wasn't so smooth that way.
Okay.
And also that inspired me to say, you know what, there are other young people around the world who are striving, struggling, and not everybody eventually breaks through. I mean, a few percent would eventually break through, but not all. So how can we make it easier for some of those people to at least give them that leverage, that opportunity to excel, especially for those in rural communities? So the work we do speaks more to people in rural communities. The average person who feels like, life has cheated me already.
Yeah.
I don't have access to good education. I don't have money. I don't have, so let me just stay here. So we take that message of hope, of inspiration to them, and we don't just stop there. It's good that you are inspired, but
you have to be empowered as well.
Go ahead to empower them to say, don't just be inspired. What can we do? What do you want to do? Do you want to go to school? Do you want to learn a skill? And we see how we can close that gap to at least place you on that platform where, okay, now you have the basic knowledge, you have the basic empowerment.
And then you have the tools.
So you can take it up from there.
Fantastic. That's
brilliant.
Well done.
Thank you
Well
very
done. That's no small feat at all. Let's talk about who are you? I think that is one critical question that a lot of us, even as adults, because like they'll say, none of us have got it figured out
At all.
We're all just still, taking it one step at a time. Some of us are doing let's dark boys.
Trial by error.
Trial by error. But this is one critical question that we all need to ask ourselves. Who are you? What comes to mind? Is it your name, gender, background, status, or perhaps the roles others have assigned to you through your life? Who are you?
It's interesting for me that that's the starting point for every individual.
True.
And what I tell people is, you all through your life, you will keep discovering more. Like your entire life is a journey of self-discovery. You can't totally figure it out to say, oh, now I am a presenter, so that is all there is to me, or I am an advocate, and that is all. So your identity will keep unveiling, but at least you should know yourself beyond the things
of what you do.
Yes, that when we strip off consultants, so I am also a business consultant on the side. When we take out that, when we take out
being a executive director.
Yes, when we take out what else is left with Dami, who is Dami?
What's your core?
So you need to be able to see yourself beyond things, beyond what you do. So identity is more of a being, who you are in your person. And how do you come about finding that? It's something that you would have to find yourself, because people would always define you. People would always say, oh, I think she's tall, oh, I think she's fat. And I think this is even the basis of a lot of challenges we're facing today. So people don't know who they are. So when somebody comes and say you are this, you want to, I stumbled on a post, I think it was this morning, where someone said they took a survey, and over, 80% people said they would rather, young people, they would go to jail for 2 years just to get £1,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is identity problem. Like, if you know who you are, you will subject yourself to that
situation.
For what?
Yeah.
It's you're worth more than that. So we need to begin to see ourselves intrinsically, like not just the extrinsic value, not just what we have, what we don't have, what life has thrown at us, our challenges, to what has God put inside of me.
Yeah.
There's something He has put inside of you. So you need to start seeing yourself through that lens. The fact that you are on earth shows that you're important.
I agree with you. And I think we need to begin to inculcate this mentality with children.
Yes.
Helping them know who they are. because even at a young age, knowing who you are is important on your life's journey.
Absolutely.
As you grow older. And that way you can even also fight off bullying.
Yes.
Because a lot of kids are faced with bullying, peer pressure, even before they become young adults. So I think that is one important question and important mindset that needs to be that needs to be imbibed or with the kids. With parents need to do that. Let's talk about building the right esteem, because so getting past knowing who you are. Getting past knowing what you stand for. Your values. Now, how does one build the right esteem?
So, I mean, knowing who you are has already taken you a step ahead, because now you begin to see yourself the way you should see yourself.
Yeah.
So when it comes to esteem, I mean, most of the young people that fall into criminal acts or tend towards moral decadence is because they don't have the right esteem of themselves. So you begin to, you need to now start confessing. Yes, and the reason why this book is, one thing about the book, like you say, you talked about parents. It's also something that parents need to get, because I've discovered that esteem issues doesn't even really start with the child. It starts with the parents. It starts with the teachers. It starts with the guidance. So you have a parent that would always shout that no matter what the child does, you always find an error. You always think they're not doing enough. You don't appreciate. So the child is already used to, oh, I'm not enough, no matter what I do, because mommy would still say, can't you see this person? So we need to stop focusing on others and start focusing on the child. If the child is not doing enough, it shouldn't be in comparison. It should be about the child. How can you be better?
I agree with you, because not just, I mean, this doesn't even stop with the parents. Also, extends to the school community. The teachers. Well, what are they saying to these kids? When they fail a subject, how do they speak to them?
I mean, they draw the zero. Like they used to do for us. And draw your
ears.
ears.
They do the odo with the ears and the eyes and the nose and the mouth with it. So I think that's quite important. Now let's talk about something very, very, very important in every teenager's life, and that is sex, dating, and relationships. Because as you grow older, they're exposed to a lot of information, especially in this time and age of technology.
Yes.
You can't exactly control what a child has access to on television, on their phones, even the things that they see all around us, even with the people that we live with.
Exactly.
So this is very important. Quickly talk to us about this.
Okay, so sex. I don't even want to remember growing up. I mean, we didn't have access to the right knowledge, and that's also one of the inspiration of ensuring that this topic is in this book, because the only thing we get to hear is, oh, sex is bad. If a guy touches you, you're going to get pregnant, and you just move away. But we need to start giving young people the right education, even from as young as possible, as young as they can identify their right and their left. They need to know that, okay, sex in itself is not bad, but under what circumstance should they be allowed to have sex? I mean, what should they know about relationship with the opposite sex? It's not even just, oh, when you talk to a boy is wrong, when you talk to a girl is wrong. They need to have the right knowledge to say, you know what, relationship with the opposite self in itself is not bad. I mean, we're emotional beings. We get more attracted to the other sex, especially when you're from 12, 13, your teenage age. You want that attention, you want that affection, you want to be loved. So we need to begin to guide them, to say, how do you walk around this? How do you deal with your emotion? We've all had crushes. They need to know that it's not bad to have a crush.
I mean, your book expatiated, went further and, broadened it out. So I think, this is one book that everyone should have. But finally, money, money, money.
Important.
They say money is the root of all evil.
And the love of money.
The love of money, right? And we live in a time now where a lot of young people, I wouldn't just say girls now, a lot of young boys and girls are, getting carried away and getting involved in a lot of immoral and fraudulent activities, frivolous activities that they shouldn't be engaged in, just because, everyone is living in that fast-paced era where you just want to make money. They don't want to care They don't want to work hard for it. They just want to make that money. So quickly, touch on this before we wrap this up.
Okay, so I think the first thing I want to say to young people listening, if you're listening, who would be listening, and what I also emphasized in this book is there are stages, there are phases to life. And as young people, we need to understand that. You can't live your future now. I mean, I am always amazed where I see 17, 18, and I read on the news that they're killing people for ritual. And I'm like, growing up, ritual was associated with 60, 70-year-olds. So we need to understand that we are at different phases of life. And at this phase of life, you're in a phase of development, of empowerment. What you do now will translate into the kind of wealth you will have. So instead of worrying yourself about, oh, how do I make money now? Look at how can I develop myself? You know, it's laid out there. How can I add value to myself? Money would always come to you when you're valuable. I mean, you don't need to chase money.
I agree with you. I mean, this book is quite a gift, I'll say, and thank you for sharing your gift to the world. And quickly, before I wrap this up, I think there are just a few questions here I'll just like to drop to our young viewers right now watching. I think one of the core things that you need to ask yourself is, who are you? What are your core values and interests? What career paths align with your strengths and passion? And finally, you have just one life to live. Make it meaningful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thrive is the book I think you should get today. And thank you so much, Damilola, for sharing this gift.
Thanks a lot for having me.
And I know that a lot of people would be inspired, and this is going to greatly impact their lives as well.
Thank you. I believe so too.
Done.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and that's a wrap. We have Mary and Mike in the kitchen. Unfortunately, our chef couldn't make it today, but we promise, hopefully, we'll have an interesting cooking session tomorrow.
Ofada Boy will be here.
Oh, yeah!
Having Ofadabration on Sunday, which you've seen the promo on the station. So he'll be here tomorrow. It's going to be a big one on the show tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.
So that's why we took a chill pill today, so that when it gets massive tomorrow, you're super prepared. And I'm really interested in that book. They will not send my own Ofada. That's why I say it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie.
You know where we took no chill pill, but hey, come on, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.